this is Alex, and this is Travel TItbits 42, and I'm just outside the village of Umberleigh. So let's take a closer look. On the previous video I had a look at Umberleigh Station and the Umberleigh crossing, but let's think about Umberleigh itself. Well, it's actually quite an ancient place. I was planning to take some close-up shots at the bridge, and we will do so, but the talking bit I shall do here because it's quite a busy crossing over the river Tor, and yeah, it's not pedestrian friendly. So why Umberleigh? Yes, it's an interesting place today. It's a place of scattered housing and a railway station. Well, back in the day, over 1,000 years ago, there was a manor here, and during before the Norman conquest, there was a palace here, and it was occupied by King Aethelstan, who was king of the West Saxons and later of the English. So it was a very important royal location, and I guess that because of the river and source of water and a fairly central location, not far from the rest of England. Following the Norman conquest, the area that was the palace became a Benedictine monastery, and the translation of the Old English described it as the Abbey for Ladies. After that, as was the way with English kings, land and property was given to the most loyal families, and there was a series of families that owned the area. First the Solognays, then the Champeruns and the Champernowys, and in the mid-1200s Ralph de Willington, and he was described as a worthy warrior. And he was also governor of Exeter Castle and later Sheriff of Devon. So the history is a little flaky after this, presumably because after the 1200s Exeter became a much more important centre of power, as was the way, and the foreign sounding family names merely reflected that that during that period, it was the first period in which the English felt that they had the right to conquer and take France. All right, well, we'll take a few shots of the river. So, first sight of the Tor at Umberleigh, and my goodness, it's going fast today. Well, it shouldn't be a surprise because it's the 9th of January, and I'm not kidding you, it has rained every single day this year, including this morning. So the water has to go somewhere, and here it is rushing towards Barnstaple and the Bristol Channel. It's quite an ornate bridge, and hopefully it's a sturdy one, considering the amount of water going underneath today. So it's quite a narrow bridge. I'm not sure it's a great idea for me to walk over it. There is a pub. I've never been to said pub. I don't suppose that the King Aethelstan had the benefit crossing this bridge 1,000 or so years ago. If anything, if there was a bridge, it would have been wooden construction, or perhaps just a pedestrian brick bridge, like the Long Bridge at Boston. I can't imagine there not being a bridge for a king and his palace. He wouldn't have had any problem with the neighbours back then. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. That was Walk Around Umberleigh. See you next time.